Someone once told you that to be seen, you must be loud. They lied. Look around. The world is choking on its own noise. Everyone is screaming for a sliver of attention, desperate to prove they exist through a constant stream of useless words. They fear the gap. They fear the pause, because in the pause, the truth catches up to them. It seems like you've been told that your silence is a defect. It seems like you feel a shadow of guilt when you choose the corner of the room instead of the center. You think you're being left behind. You think your loneliness is a cage. But what if I told you that your isolation isn't a prison? What if it is a fortress? In the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle the myth of the social man. We are going to explore the dark stoicism of the quiet man, the one who doesn't seek a seat at the table because he owns the room. You aren't lonely because you can't find people. You are alone because you have finally realized that most people are just echoes of a noise they don't even understand. The quiet man is the ultimate perimeter of the social landscape. While they talk, he maps. While they perform, he dissects. As you listen to this, your mind might begin to recognize a shift. The weight you've been carrying, the need to fit in, is about to be replaced by something much heavier, something much more dangerous. Power. Welcome to the shadow.
The loud man is a fragile man. Every word he speaks is a plea for validation. Look at me, he says. Acknowledge me. Tell me I am enough. This is what we call the social subsistence level. These people are starving for attention, and like any starving animal, they are predictable. They are slaves to the reactions of others. If the room laughs, they are kings. If the room is silent, they wither. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for a crowd. He wrote them for the silence of his own tent. He understood that the opinion of 1,000 fools equals exactly 0. But Dark Stoicism goes further. We don't just ignore the noise, we use it as a veil. When you are the quietest person in the room, you become a mirror. People cannot help themselves. They hate silence. It creates a psychological pressure, a vacuum that their ego feels compelled to fill. They will tell you their secrets. They will reveal their insecurities. They will show you their hand, all while you have said nothing. This is Robert Greene's law number 4. Always say less than necessary. When you speak, your words are a currency. If you flood the market, your value crashes. If you restrict the supply, every syllable becomes a bar of gold. The quiet man understands that in any interaction, the person with the most information and the least emotional investment holds the leash. Are you starting to see? Your loneliness was never about being alone. It was about the realization that you no longer speak the language of the desperate.
Let's perform a labeling on your current state. It feels like you've spent years trying to build bridges to people who only wanted to use you as a stepping stone. It feels like you've been punished for your depth in a world that survives on the surface. Now, listen carefully. Someone who has mastered the art of being alone can never be manipulated. Why? Because the greatest weapon a manipulator has is the threat of exclusion. If you don't do this, we won't like you, we won't invite you, you'll be alone. When you embrace the quiet man archetype, that threat becomes a gift. You cannot threaten a man with the very thing he finds his strength in. This is the shift from reactive loneliness to proactive solitude. One might find that the more they try to pull you into their drama, the more you find peace in your detachment. You aren't avoiding the world, you are curating it. You are becoming the architect of your own influence. Think about the statue in the fog. It doesn't move, it doesn't speak. Yet every person who passes it feels its presence. They wonder what it knows. They project their fears onto its silence. That statue is you. When you stop performing, you start observing. And when you observe, you see the strings. You see how the dominant boss is actually terrified of his wife. You see how the confident friend is actually drowning in debt. You see the cracks in the marble of everyone around you. And because you are quiet, they will never see yours.
To embody the quiet man, you must follow the protocol of the shadow. It is not enough to just be silent. You must be strategically absent. Step 1, the 3-second delay. When someone asks you a question, don't answer immediately. Wait 3 seconds. Look them in the eyes, not with aggression, but with a calm, neutral focus. This break in the social rhythm forces their brain to search for a reason for your silence. It signals that you are processing, not reacting. It signals that you are the one filtering the world, not the other way around. Step 2, the vacuum technique. In a conversation, when someone finishes speaking, don't jump in. Give it another 2 seconds. Most people will feel so uncomfortable with that tiny gap that they will keep talking. They will provide more detail, more context, and usually they will reveal their true intentions just to break the tension you created. Step 3, the aura of mystery. Never reveal your full schedule. Never explain your why to those who haven't earned it. If you are not at the party, don't post about where you are. Let them wonder. Privacy is a luxury in the digital age. By being a ghost, you force them to create a narrative about you, and the human mind always imagines the unknown to be more powerful than it actually is. Step 4, mastery of the no. The quiet man says no without apology. I can't make it is a complete sentence. You don't owe the chaos an explanation. When you stop justifying your boundaries, people stop trying to push them. You see, the quiet man is not a victim of loneliness. He is the master of his own borders. He knows that his energy is a limited resource, and he refuses to spend it on the trivial. As you sit there, perhaps hearing the hum of the room around you, or the wind outside, you can begin to feel the power of your own stillness. It's interesting, isn't it? How the more you think about silence, the more you realize that you've always had this strength inside you. You just didn't have a name for it. Now you do. You are not the man who was left out. You are the man who stepped out. The more they talk, the more you learn. The more they move, the more you remain centered. Someone might ask you why you've changed. Someone might notice that your eyes are a little steadier, your voice a little deeper, your presence a little heavier. You don't have to tell them anything. Just smile. That slow, knowing smile of a man who has found the ultimate exploit in the human psyche. You are the quiet man, and the world is finally ready to listen to your silence. Think about the grave. It is the quietest place on earth, and yet it is the only place every king and every beggar eventually arrives. It is the ultimate authority. By channeling that stillness now, while you are alive, you are tapping into a level of dominance that the loud, the frantic, and the desperate can never touch. This is not a lesson. This is an evolution. The noise will try to pull you back. The chaos will try to scream in your ear, but you know better now. You have the armor. You have the silence. If you are ready to stop being a ghost in their world and start being the architect of your own, then you know what to do. The shadow is growing. Subscribe to the silence. Join the architecture of influence. And remember, the loudest person in the room is always the one with the most to lose. Stay in the shadow.